Hi, I'm Leisha Grabinski. This is Saskatchewan. Getting around Saskatoon, Regina, Prince Albert by bus isn't always the most convenient thing. It's not like London, England, with 9 million people and an underground tube that can take you to almost every corner of the city. Or Tokyo, Japan, where more than 6 million people a day ride rail at a speed of 320 kilometers an hour. Providing good public transit in mid-sized cities is hard. Fewer people means fewer routes. But with Saskatoon growing at a rapid pace, more people are riding the bus, and Saskatoon Transit is on the cusp of some big changes. We are just a few years away from launching the city's first bus rapid transit network called Link. The city is also deciding if it should raise bus fares for the first time in 9 years. The CBC's Teresa Kleem spent 2 days riding the bus to see how smooth the ride is and what might make it better. Hey, Teresa.
Hi, Leisha.
A smoother ride. Now, I'm not talking about eliminating potholes here. We're talking about getting places quickly, safely, and easily.
Yes, Leisha, I personally love riding the bus. You get to see the city when it looks its best. Come with me for a moment to our first bus stop. We are standing at a very... Oh, look at the sky. Sorry. We're standing at a very busy 8th Street on a Monday morning. A beautiful Saskatchewan red-blue sky.
Oh, Teresa, I can picture it.
I know, it was so beautiful. But, here's the thing. I don't always like waiting for the bus.
And why is that?
Okay, it's something I also heard from some of the other bus riders I met in our city. The shelters or the lack thereof. What the bus stop I usually go to in the mornings to go to work has no bench, no garbage can, nothing, just the sign.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some spots that have like basic shelters, but if your next bus doesn't come for 15 minutes or it's late, it can get really cold there. Minus 20, minus 30, and you stand in the wind and there's no shelter. That doesn't sound very...
Yeah, and today the wind's coming from the same direction that that pane is missing. So I was sitting there for a bit and I thought, no, I don't know if this is helping all that much.
But at least you have a beautiful view of the Saskatchewan sky.
Yes, it is very nice.
You get a chance to take a moment and just be instead of rushing in your car, I guess.
That's true, yes.
I love hearing your optimism there, Teresa, your bright demeanor. And I also hear Phil Tank with you there.
That's right.
He is our City Hall reporter at CBC Saskatoon, so he has been following transit developments closely.
Yeah, he has. And we got on the bus together to talk about the challenges a city the size of Saskatoon faces when it comes to transit.
Well, I would say I would reach for the obvious metaphor and cliche that it's been a bumpy ride the last 12 years or so.
Okay, so let's look back those 12 years or so. In 2014, there was a lockout. When there is a disruption in service, riders, have to find a different mode of transportation, and then they didn't necessarily go back to riding the bus. It takes a while for a transit system to recover from that. And then, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. People just didn't want to ride the bus, and not just in Saskatoon, but everywhere, really. And then there were problems with maintenance, and a number of buses were unavailable. So those are huge challenges that saw a drop in ridership. But Phil says Saskatoon is almost back to pre-pandemic levels, which is significant. We continue to see ridership increase. And because of that growth, I wanted to know from Phil what the road ahead looks like for Saskatoon Transit.
The growth is almost all immigrants from outside Canada. Not all those people have cars. So yes, it's become a more important service. Obviously, and of course we're planning to improve the service.
And there's some big changes coming. Let's look a little bit into the future. 2028 is the year that rapid transit is set to start. How do you think riding the bus will change because of that?
I think people should I would say that this does not, what's coming to Saskatoon is costing $250 million, right? That's the system that we're getting. It's not what most people would consider to be bus rapid transit. There's an international organization that says it has fairly limited definition. So to be true bus rapid transit, you need to have 3 kilometers of connected, dedicated bus lanes. Well, we only have dedicated bus lanes on College for a few blocks and on First Street downtown for a few blocks. So what we're getting is not, I think, what most people like. Bus rapid transit is described as light rail transit with buses. That's not what we're getting. We're getting we're driving down Broadway right now.
Yes.
This was supposed to be a dedicated bus lane route, but the merchants along the strip did not want it, and so they took that off the table. So now there's only First Avenue and College Drive.
And now we're hitting the Broadway Bridge, moving to downtown. Safety has been a concern. Some people have not felt safe on these buses. How has the city been addressing this concern?
Yeah, that's been a tough one. Again, I don't think we're alone in that. As we've heard at City Council as they wrestle with this issue, and it's a difficult issue. This is not a transit problem. This is a societal problem that happens to be taking place on buses. So do you dedicate police to ride on transit? That's one possibility. They certainly have, there's fire officials that are on transit. There's, of course, there's transit people who are on the bus. No perfect solution, of course. Again, this is not a problem with the buses per se. It's a problem with, we can't expect the bus drivers to do much more than drive the bus. Drive the bus is a difficult job. In the research that was done by city officials, there was no other city our size that had dedicated transit police, but that will be discussed at budget this year.
Okay, Phil, we got a seat. So bus fares, they're also under review. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, well, no bus service pays for itself, right? It's something that, or a private company would be doing it, or a nonprofit. So, they will at budget this year look at transit fares. They have not risen appreciably since 2014. Certainly the daily fare, and much has changed since then. It used to be almost entirely cash when people got on the bus. Now it's almost all, as you can see, people scanning their phones. So that's changed. So does the $3 make sense, or I guess it's $2.50? Does that make sense? Because it was designed for a different time, right? It was designed when people were getting on with cash, and now that's not what they're doing anymore.
Okay, let's get out of this bus. Thank you. Okay, so I guess we'll see what happens with the bus fares in the future. What are you watching? Is there anything you're watching for, hoping for when it comes to that?
Well, it's interesting that obviously there's a big crunch at budget. We're looking at a very high potential property tax increase, but I think something like raising bus fares would be mainly symbolic. I don't think it's going to help reduce the property tax increase all that much, but there's most people here don't take the bus, and because of that they don't see the value in it, or they think that the people taking the bus should pay for a bigger share of that. So, I mean, is this something that's going to be discussed? I don't think they're going to lower fares. I don't think they're, the report on this mentioned, eliminating fares, which has, I don't think, been done anywhere in North America. Maybe I think maybe it's Portland has, you can ride the bus for free downtown there. I think they're probably looking at raising fares a bit and recouping more of the cost of running the system, which is going up, of course, because we're introducing more frequent service.
Phil, as we're now walking from the bus stop towards our office, towards work, why did you decide recently to use the bus more frequently to go to work?
Mainly because I live so close to the 8th Street route. It's so much more convenient. It's frankly cheaper than parking. It's almost as convenient, or maybe even more convenient, than taking my car, because I've got to find a spot in a parking lot and then pay, and just walking out to 8th Street and catching the bus makes more sense for me when I'm not riding my bike.
Well, Phil, I can see our office. It's just a couple meters away. We managed to talk about transit all the way while riding the bus. So thank you so much for taking me on your journey to work on the bus this morning.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I think it's interesting that Phil points out just how many people have moved here who have to take the bus. It's really their only option. Did you end up talking to some people like that?
Oh yeah, plenty.
My name is Bash.
And that's your full name? Or?
Bashiru, yeah. We are riding the bus because we can't afford to buy a car, and then also so the bus is helping us.
If there could be any changes, what would you like to see?
Or if we have more buses in the system, is good. Because sometimes when you come, you have to wait for a while. If we are in the winter, and then if the weather is too chill, but if we have more buses in the system, I think it will help us. In Montreal, we have a lot of buses, and then we have the train too is working, so that one is very fast and very easier for us. But as compared to here the buses, sometimes we have to wait for a while.
Hoşgan.
And your last name?
Rezai.
I'm wondering how often you take the bus usually here.
Every day I use a bus. And unfortunately, I take 3 buses every day because my home is far from my workplace. I live in Stonebridge, and my workplace is ideal by the street. I work in the Venturing Hotel, and every morning time I must take 3 buses.
So how long is the whole trip from door to door? An hour?
I think 1 hour.
Okay, how is that for you?
It's so hard for me, but I don't know. I have choice, another choice? No.
Okay, so this is your only way of transportation?
Yes. Just I use bus every day.
Yeah, she uses it every day. There's no other choice. So they have to ride the bus to get to where they need to be.
Exactly. And I also met so many university students who ride the bus frequently, also out of necessity.
I think like 5 times a week probably, usually home from school. Today I gotta take it to school also, but probably 5 times a week.
And what's your name?
My name's Will. Schenner.
And you mentioned going to school, but why do you use the bus? Like, why is that your choice of transportation?
It's just like the only option. Honestly, it's pretty cheap too, so. The pass like comes with the tuition, so.
Would you still use it if it got more expensive?
I don't got any other choice, so I would, yeah.
Any change? What kind of changes would you like to see if you could ask for any?
I like how it is. No, I don't find any problem. Like, it's not even that we need more buses because you can just look on the app and see when it's coming and go then. So I think the system's pretty good how it is right now.
What's your name? I'm Teresa, and you're?
I'm Vincent.
And what's your last name?
It's Elmer Vincent, so Vincent's my last name.
Okay, gotcha.
I take the bus every day.
To work?
Yeah.
And why the bus? Why do you take the bus?
Because I don't own a car. And I live 20 minutes away from my work, so I would have to bus. And Ubers are expensive, so I can't afford a car either.
So it's kind of the only option. And how do you like it so far? What's been the experience like?
So far it's been fine. No major issue other than it being too crowded sometimes, but it's good.
And the fares? Would you continue riding the bus if the fares went up?
I'm currently a student, so I think it's covered with my fee, but I'm not too sure if I would continue after graduating.
If the fees went up or in general?
In general, because I wouldn't be willing to pay money for the transport. I'd rather buy a car once I graduate, yeah.
I do have a car, but it's hard to park on campus, so I just take the bus.
How do you like it?
It's okay. It gets me where I need to go.
What's your name, if I may ask?
Allie.
And your last name?
Humble.
Ellie, thank you very much. It was great talking with you.
So Allie needs to ride the bus. It just sounds like so many people are riding because it's their only choice. Did you meet anyone, though, who's doing it because they want to be riding the bus?
I did. There's some kids who ride for free in our city in Saskatoon. Last year, Saskatoon started a new program to allow children in grade 8 and under to ride for free. And this really makes me think about how if busing was free for everyone, would people ride more? Phil mentioned only Portland does this. We'll come back to that. But first, let's say hello to Isla and Emilia. Isla is 11 years old. Her sister Emilia is in grade 8 and she's 13. And we are only using their first names because these kids ride back and forth to school every day on their own. And we want to keep them and their route safe. So school is out and these kids hop on the bus. Hi, Emilia. Hi, Isla. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, I'm Teresa. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for letting me ride the bus with you today. Where are we heading now?
To the bus now.
And how long are we on the bus for now, do you think?
6 or 7 minutes. I definitely take it for granted. It's like a very awesome experience, especially because I don't have to pay.
What about you? What do you think about the fact that it's been free for you to ride the bus?
I think it's pretty fun. I also like how it's free because a lot of people that live far away, it's like a good thing to help. But I also think that they should give high schoolers a bit because they also like bus a lot too.
And Emilia, you will be in high school next year, and then you have to pay a little bit. Will you keep using the bus?
Yeah, definitely. Just because it's like probably my only mode of transportation.
And what about you? Do you think you will be keep using the bus as you grow up?
Probably.
What about you, Emilia? Do you think you will use it beyond high school too?
No. I just gonna drive my car.
Really? Why?
'Cause there is some perks to busing, but there's also flaws to busing that cars don't have.
Emilia, what would it take for you to keep using the bus regularly? Like, what changes would it need to take?
I just I don't know. It just cars are just easier, I feel.
What about you, Isla? Do you think, I mean, you said yes, but if you had a car, do you think you would still rather use the bus?
I think if it was really, really snowy or something like that, I would use my car or, yeah.
Another question I wanted to ask you guys before we talk a bit more about the future, are any of your friends or classmates using the public bus as well?
Yeah. My friend in grade 7.
So we're almost there. Okay. Well, I will stay on this bus. So when you get off, but I would like to thank you both already for letting me join you on your way back to school. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So the question is this indeed a turning point for Saskatoon Transit with all these changes? You know, one that could potentially lead transit and all its riders in a better direction.
Well, Ihab Diab thinks so. He's an assistant professor in the Department of Geography and Planning at the U of S. Ihab works in the area of public transportation planning. He says it's not transit's fault necessarily if there aren't good routes. It actually comes down to city planning. Ihab also says to achieve good transit, you need density.
The biggest challenge in transit, it's not the transit system actually, it's how the city is built. It's a land use, the connectivity to bus station, and this make it hard for any transit agency to offer high quality service that is actually can attract choice riders.
choice riders, people who are choosing to take the bus and they're not just doing it because it's their only option. So you need more housing, affordable housing ideally, along bus routes, according to EFDEB. And Rapid Transit, Link, is hoping to accomplish just that.
Exactly. But even without the density, Saskatoon buses, at least on some routes, are already pretty busy. You know what's interesting? We are now between 10 and 11 in the morning. This bus is packed. So we, because of population growth, we do have a decent amount of riders now. Some buses are packed as right now. What does that tell you about the importance of public transit to people in general?
I think people, we have to understand that bus riders are very much different segments, and some people really rely on transit, like low-income population, new immigrant, student with low income, and with growth of population, and this has been a big opportunity for us to actually to gain more ridership by serving the places that these new immigrants, for example, are relocating to, or at least make it clear that this is the area that are rich in transit in the city. You can locate in these areas, and basically you will have the best service to go anywhere without needing the car.
And I'm guessing they'll just keep getting busier. I keep thinking about the kids who got to ride for free. Will they grow up into adults who will still ride?
Well, I asked EHAB about that too. When kids start riding the bus and when they get to ride it for free, as they currently are, as you're an elementary school student, do they turn into adults who are more likely to ride the bus?
Yes, this is very true actually, and there was some studies in Montreal that used the household travel survey different years to track different generations, and they found that people actually who start to use active transportation or trans early in their life, they actually have higher odds to continue doing this in the future. So this is a very good step to actually get the experience to younger generations, so they grow up with familiarity how to use a bus, the benefit of using a bus, and this can result on them continuing using the bus in the future.
It's sure to be an interesting ride as Saskatoon Transit makes some pretty big decisions in the next little while. Teresa, thank you for this.
Thank you for letting me hop on the podcast.
Thanks to Teresa Kleem for being my buddy today on the podcast. Also, thanks to you for listening. If you've liked what you've heard, do us a favor and share this with a friend. We're back Friday with a hot take on politics. In the meantime, take care, and we'll talk again soon.